We all know about the updates this game has received through the years, as each one added and possibly removed something unique about the game. But which one is the best? Well, if you're wondering that, you have came to the right place, as today I will rank almost all of them based on usefulness and coolness they contributed to the game, and how fun they were generally to play, and also some personal bias. But I won't waffle any further, so let's get right into it. Firstly, we have Megapatch 1. This update made the foundations for the SCP-079 we have today, as it introduced generators, which at the time you will need to activate 5 of to kill them. It also significantly changed its HUD to make it more playable. This was pretty refreshing for the SCPs, as all of them were based on the left click equals Z concept. It also introduced the USP. If you played at this time, then there is a very high chance you like this gun as much as I did. It's essentially the SCP SL's version of the CSGO Desert Eagle, as it fires quite slowly but deadly. This update, while maybe not that significant, was important for the future of SCP SL, so that's why it gets an honorary C tier. This brings us to Megapatch 2. When it released, it was one of the biggest updates the game has ever received. Well, it's called Megapatch, so no shit. And needless to say, the players were hyped. It introduced some of the core features we have today, like lockers, weapon lockers, wall-mounted medkits, and of course SCP items, which was something that was never seen before. Even though the items look unrecognizable compared to today, their purpose and abilities are completely same. It also revoked the micro's looks and functions from this to this. Not to mention, they finally made the medkits actually be used instead of just eaten, while also adding some healing items we have to this day. And of course, they also bring 1 billion, 3 quinzillion and 103 bug fixes and miscellaneous and quality of life changes. Overall, it was essentially the first industrial revolution for the game, and the new stuff was certainly fun to play with. I would say it deserves a solid A tier. Next update on the list is Scopophobia. I can't pronounce that. Another one of the game's most iconic updates. This update revoked SCP-096 from the Caveman Dweller to the iconic PTSD emulator we have today. Besides the obvious model change, key changes were made in this rework. He was made more lore accurate, since only people who looked at him will be able to get targeted and killed by him. Yeah, it must have sucked not even looking at this motherfucker and still getting dismantled. This update also introduced important features like the ticket system, which is still today in use when determining which team spawns. It also added the stamina bar. Yes, before this update, humans could sprint infinitely, which made the SCPs a bit underpowered, but oh well. Fuck the SCPs. All my D-boys hate the SCPs. Getting used to the new 096 was a weird but terrifyingly fun process. Only issue was he was much stronger when compared to today, and due to his recent arrival, nobody knew how to counter him. So in almost all rounds, humans will get the ground wiped with them. Overall, another pretty solid update. I'd say it deserves a solid B tier. The Halloween update has been different through the years of this game's existence, but it always held a special place in my heart. As of making this video, this year's Halloween update hasn't come out yet, but the most memorable for me was the 2021 Halloween update. It added some funny skin remodels, changed the looks of the current SCP items, and even added a new one. The candy effects were also changed and made to be more chaotic. Needless to say, it was pretty silly. It's a much smaller update compared to the others, but it was one of the most fun times I had in this game, so I'm giving it an A tier. The Parabellum, also known as one of the most game-changing but controversial updates. To start off, we changed SCP-173 from this to this, because some random ass motherfucker claimed this art is his and proceeded to sue every SCP game that makes profits, so keep yourself safe. But even though I miss the old model, I really like the model we have now, as it's much more terrifying compared to this squeaky toy. Like when this just came out, I was absolutely shitting my pants. No, I will never! It also made SCP-173's gameplay more complex and fun, which was really important. Another big thing this update made was the revoked weapons. They essentially went from Roblox looking to CSGO 2 looking and completely changed the way they work. Many dislike this update to this day, but I loved it from the start, especially for increasing the skill needed to kill, as with the old weapons you could run, jump, teleport while shooting and still hit every shot. Not to mention the new weapons just look way too sexy. Honestly, one of my favorite updates. Probably many disagree, but I'm giving it an S tier, as it was just essential for further games development. Do you know what's also essential for the game's development? Subscribing. Being an underwater cocaine transport navigator is not an easy job. However, if I reach 10k one day, I might be able to start my own cartel, and that will really help me out. Also, I have just reached 2k, so I will be hosting a giveaway in my Discord server, so make sure to join. Anyways, let's continue. The Christmas update, also known as the FPS Destroyer. Similarly to the Halloween update, it changed playable models and SCP item model. It also occasionally adds cool visual changes and some unique stuff like this Christmas tree that appears randomly and suddenly just like your dad when you win the lottery. Not the biggest one in the book, but a nice little update to fit the mood of the outside world. I honestly prefer the Halloween update, and the fact my PC explodes while playing doesn't help, so it gets a solid C tier. Mimicry. Do I have to say anything besides? On a serious note, I really did enjoy the 99 rework because the old model was the goofiest compared to the others at the time, and its gameplay was the most boring one in the game. It also added the Gus Fring lab that looks like a completely different game compared to the rest of the facility. Another neat thing is they added the operational guide, which is the first step towards giving some kind of a tutorial for new players. Though it clearly isn't enough cause most people are still clueless of what the hell they are doing until they learn the hard way. Anyways, not the craziest update, but the 99 voice stealing feature brings me so many laughs, so I think it's worthy of an A+. Refracted reality. An update you could say was even more controversial than the Parabellum. It's known as the RTX update as the game went from looking like this to that. And it also added quite some quality of life changes like the custom hotkeys and more. Unfortunately, this update completely nuked some people's PCs even though it claimed to have optimized the game more. I personally can run the game max graphics 60 FPS with my 3-year-old goofy pre-built PC, so not sure how that works. Anyway, some people also claim that the graphics reduce the horror elements of the game, which I don't really agree with because they made the lights going out way more punishing. Dude, I can't see shit! Not the biggest and craziest update, but I did enjoy it as it freshened the game up quite a bit, at least for me. I just wish it was optimized even more to help out the people with Yugoslavia PCs. Anyways, I'm giving it a P tier. Well, that will be it for today's tier list video thingy, but if you have a different opinion about something, feel free to drop it in the comments, and make sure to subscribe or something bad will happen. Anyways, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.